I always knew that this album was going to be a follow-up album from Home Volume 1. And I knew how I wanted it to sound. I wanted it to sound similar to Home Volume 1, but not too similar. So it's like, oh, well, they're basically the same album. Because, yes, they're supposed to be, but at the same time, they're not supposed to be. So I know how I wanted it to sound, but I wanted it to also sound different, if that makes sense. And I wanted it to also be just as unique as any other one of my albums. I didn't want it to feel like it was too similar, you know what I'm saying? So this album went through a lot of fucking changes just off of album covers alone. Like the one that you guys are looking at right now was the first album cover for the album. And the reason why it was a park was because it wasn't even a part of my childhood, because I didn't go to the park a lot as a kid. I more did that as a teenager. And that was more of a recent thing after Papa died, you know? So I was like, all right, park. I used to go to the park a lot, but I didn't really do it that much as a kid. So it just doesn't work. And I didn't like how the Home Volume 2 looked, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And then I was like, okay, well, since I'm talking about home, I want a picture from home. And that's where this album cover comes in at. I took this picture at my home where I grew up at. It's not my home now, but Mungus still lives there, and it's always going to be my home. So I took a picture there, and in that cover, in that version of the album, it has the tree from the first album. It's not the same tree, but it has a picture of a tree, but except this time the leaves are off of it, showing that it's a different album and also a different season. And in the background you can see the moon, which is also a reference to the cover in the album called Gotta Let Go by Hollywood Undead. That's a cover. That ain't mine, for those of you guys that don't know. I just tweaked it a little bit. I just changed the intro to it, and I thought I did really fucking great. But that's Hollywood Undead's. I don't own that. That ain't mine. I'm not making a profit off of it, and even if I could, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to do that to them. It's disrespectful. So then now we get to the album cover that everybody now knows. I took that picture while at the park with my cousins, Maddie and Katie. We were walking the dog. Well, walking their dog. Walking Katie's dog, I should say. And I saw this picture. I was like, ooh, fuck, that's beautiful. And then as soon as I took that, I was like, damn, I think I might have just found the new album cover. Because, yeah, the last one was cool, but I also didn't like how the Your Medicine looked. I didn't like the Home Volume 2. I didn't like the parental advisory sticker being hidden. I didn't like it. So I was like, alright, cool. Fuck it. Fuck it all. This is the new album cover. And it sticked. And that is the new album cover. And with every one of those albums, with every one of those album covers, each had a different fucking sound. This is the third sound that this album has had, and I'm happy that I found this sound because I think it fucking fits. And that's why the next track is a familiar track.